Welcome to Road Rider channel. In 2023, BMW introduced the latest generation of the GS with a little bit controversial design. Which is the reason why today we'll take a look on second generation of the GS, which formed a bit a look of adventure bikes in the 90s. First generation, called R80 G/S, G for Gelände, S for Straße, was introduced in 1980. It was made until 1987 and it was a really small bike with small tank, no fairing. It was really light, and BMW took it seriously with off-road bikes because they took G/S, gave it to the guys from the HPN, which built them the proper race-winning rally bike. It worked because BMW won in 1981, 83, 84 and 85, which was a huge race-winning success for BMW, and sadly the very last one for the Boxer engine, because from that year BMW never won race or series with the Boxer engine. It was success on racetrack, but also the commercial success. The G/S was replaced in 1988 by second generation, which was throughout the years available in 3 model variants with 2 engines. It was all around much better bike than the first generation. These bikes are a bit close to me because, well, this is my personal bike. This is my father's bike, so I can, well, crash it when I ride it. And yeah, that's my dad's bike as well. I owned this bike for about 16 years. I did few 10,000 kilometers on it, restored it, as I work as a BMW mechanic. So basically I think I know some stuff about this bike. And today I'm gonna share it with you. The main difference between first and second generation was the bigger 24-liter tank. It had a stiffer chassis, better suspension, 215 millimeters in front, 180 in rear. And the main difference is the para-leveling. Other thing which was introduced on second gen were the cross-spoke tubeless wheels, which I think BMW patented, and the patent ended about a few years ago, 2018, and miraculously other brands started to use it. Till then they tried to just invent their own wheels, which never worked. But yeah, that's only my theory. It's my opinion. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. It came with some optionals. You could have R80 with 50 horsepower or R100 with 60 horsepower. R100 came with an oil cooler, but as optionals you could have heated grips, which are not very often found on these early models. And the kickstart. The truth is that the kickstart never works, but it was the optional stuff. This guy, it's my mom's. She bought it probably in Norway. She had it on her 1150, then she put it on this bike, and yeah, she never took it back. It's on these handlebars, it's there for 16 years. I'm not dressed in 30 degrees in leather jacket for, well, just for fun. You know, this is the original BMW jacket which you could buy in 1988 with this bike. Also, you could buy the System 2 helmet, which is normal helmet, but when you do some adjustments, you could rebuild it on Enduro helmet. Probably the thing I love the most on my bike, it's the soundtrack. Like it's backfiring when you downshift it. The trips on these bikes are quite fun. Mostly you're enjoying its low gear ratio and the torque of the engine. Of course the brakes are not super good. It has only one brake caliper in front. The rear brake, it's drum brake, so not very effective. But it's pretty okay, it's not so bad. Handling of this bike, it's the best one. Well, you can enjoy it in the city a lot. I can imagine this is gonna be one of the best bikes you can use in big cities in Italy or France. For me, it's better than scooter, as it's good in the city. It means it's also good in low speeds in off-road as well.
It has quite low center of gravity, so it means you can do quite easy U-turns like these. It basically makes at least no sense to stand in the food bags, you know. When you're sitting, it's basically almost impossible to crash it. Of course, you need to watch the road a lot, you know, to get rid of some really big hits and stuff like that. So it trials really nicely. So if you want to, you know, let's say, let's go in the woods to do some trials, it's really good.
In 1990, BMW introduced Barida version. It looks a bit like modern GS, mainly because it's fairing, some wind protection and a huge 35-liter tank. Another thing which this bike has common with the modern adventure GS bikes is this box, where you can fit some slim cigarettes. So this is a bit more old school bike, which means that this storage is so big that you can fit whole cigarette factory in it. This guy is brother of that one, probably from the same shop, but this one stayed on my father's bike. He just didn't give it away. Just the difference in a fuel tank makes a lot. With 35 liters, you are really on the limit of the front suspension. The bike feels really heavy in front. Also the fairing, when you cannot see the front wheel, makes you feel like you're on much heavier bike.
Okay, one of the coolest features on this bike is how fast, gently put it on, how fast you can remove the tank, because it's holding on just on some pieces. It takes a bit more longer to put it back, but if you run out of the gas, you don't need to carry the whole bike, you just carry the tank.
Last bits of the first generation of GS disappeared in 1991 when the small headlight version was replaced by this version, having a fairing from Barida, and they started to paint it in some weird colors, especially in 93, 94 when they started to use some violets and flesh greens. Most of people don't like these colors like violets and stuff, but I think it has some sort of 90s spirit. It belongs to that era, it belongs to that time, and I think it's totally okay to have violet bike. Second generation of GSs have quite high mileage. My bike has 135, my dad has 130, this one has 92,000 kilometers. The reason is that you can still buy, let's say, 95% of parts directly from BMW or other German companies which are making spare parts, because community behind BMW airheads is still huge. People are still riding these bikes and they know why, because you can destroy airhead only by crashing it. The rest can be repaired or overhauled, and people knows it.
To be honest, it's pretty fun to off-road this bike after those years. Well, I was racing this bike back in the days. It was my first bike, so I was racing it. And the faster guys, they just didn't get it. That I was beating KTMs and much off-road based bikes.
Even it's not perfect, it's far away from perfect. It's far away from the modern bikes. Brake sucks, the suspension is terrible. But these things make it kinda emotional. It has its own character. That's the thing what I like on this bike. Well, I want to be the operator of the motorcycle. I don't want to be some sort of passenger like on modern bikes. Which means that this bike perfectly fits my needs. Honestly, this bike is probably the last thing I would sell in my life. So I guess, yeah, it's gonna stick with me for a while.